Hello everyone, and welcome. Have you ever wondered how one small action can trigger a much bigger chain reaction? In our bodies, this happens all the time at a microscopic level. Today, we're going to explore a key concept in biochemistry that explains this phenomenon, cooperativity. It's essentially teamwork among molecules. So, what is cooperativity? In simple terms, it's a process where a protein with multiple binding sites can change its ability to bind more molecules after the first one has already attached. Think of it like this. Imagine you and 3 friends are faced with a very tricky puzzle box. The first person struggles to open the first latch. It's stiff and difficult. But once that first latch is open, it releases some tension in the box, making the second, third, and fourth latches much easier for your friends to open. That's positive cooperativity in a nutshell. The most famous example of this in our bodies is hemoglobin, the protein in our red blood cells responsible for carrying oxygen from our lungs to our tissues. Hemoglobin is made of 4 smaller parts, or subunits, and each one can bind to one oxygen molecule. When you're in the lungs, where there's a lot of oxygen, the first oxygen molecule has a relatively hard time binding to one of hemoglobin's subunits. The protein is in a tense state. However, once that first oxygen successfully binds, it causes a shape change in the entire hemoglobin protein. This shift to a relaxed state exposes the other binding sites and dramatically increases their affinity, or attraction, for oxygen. This means the second, third, and fourth oxygen molecules can bind much more quickly and easily. This cooperative effect is crucial for our survival. It allows hemoglobin to become fully saturated with oxygen in the lungs very efficiently. Then, when the red blood cell travels to your muscles or other tissues where oxygen levels are low, the reverse happens. As one oxygen molecule is released, the protein's shape changes back, making it easier for the other 3 to be released as well. This ensures a large amount of oxygen is delivered precisely where it's needed most. This process is a form of allosteric regulation, where binding at one site on a protein affects another, distant site. While hemoglobin shows positive cooperativity, it's also possible to have negative cooperativity, where the first binding event makes subsequent binding harder, which is another way for cells to control biochemical processes. So, cooperativity is a fundamental principle that allows proteins to act like highly sensitive molecular switches, responding dynamically to small changes in their environment to perform their jobs perfectly. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this explanation of cooperativity clear and helpful, please show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and maybe even leaving a question or comment below. Your support is what allows us to keep making these educational videos. We'll see you in the next one.